Welcome into the Beat Sessions, place for all things music. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary. Let's talk about our girl, Olivia Rodrigo. She is back with her sophomore effort entitled Guts. She released that on September 8th. This is her follow-up to her 2021 debut, Sour. Featured the smash hit Driver's License. May have heard that song in 2021. It was everywhere. I mean, it's crazy the way that one track just propelled her to stardom. Her and producer Dan Nigro planned on only releasing an EP, but with the success of that track, they made a good move, made a full-length album, won a number of accolades, including 3 Grammys, I believe, and rightfully so. Olivia is incredibly talented. When I went to go review Sour a few years ago, I was not anticipating liking that record as much as I do and becoming as much of a fan of Olivia as I am. I was really excited for this record, as are many people, teaming up with Dan again on this project. She is an exceptional young talent. She talks about Taylor Swift being a role model, an idol for her. And as I listen to Olivia more and more, I got to say, within 2 albums at the age of 20, Taylor's 33 now. I think she's got 10 records right now. I feel like with the trajectory of Olivia's career, the amount of character that she displays on all of her records. I love the way, there's moments where she's working with a recitative vocal style on this record. You can definitely hear her experience as an actor coming into play. It's really cool the way she utilizes that talent. I'm also going to say I'm stoked that she left High School Musical. She's only 20, but she is a woman that has the spirit of like a 50-year-old. It's remarkable, her perspective. And as a 40-year-old man, again, I wasn't really planning on identifying with her perspective and enjoying it as much, but that's what makes her such a spectacular songwriter. She has a way of, writing about the experience of youth. And for someone who's almost 40 years of age, I don't look at it as one of those things like, yeah, life is tough, grow up. She writes about it in a way that, it really makes me empathize with her and people her age and that experience. And especially in the age of social media, I didn't have to grow up with Facebook or Instagram. And I think everybody my age is so thankful for that. I talk to so many people, and there's not a single individual my age that regrets not having those platforms going through high school. It's got to make things so difficult. And so when you're 18 and you drop a landmark record, you have a single like Driver's License, and you win all these Grammys, the toxicity of social media, I imagine, is a millionfold. She talks about taking some time off before writing any music for this record, just living life, gaining perspective. I think that's excellent. It's one of the things that I really admire about her and her perspective. I think she's a very smart young woman. And these songs, definitely riding that wave of, the frustration, the resentment that one might feel towards that success, probably pretty easy to at that age, but also still writing about things, experiences that anybody her age can identify with. The frustration of love at that age, whether she finds herself to blame in a song or it's the person that she's writing about. And you talk about those character shifts. It's one of the things that she does so well. The style of music on this record too, talking about Taylor Swift, not making any comparisons, but Taylor, while, working on albums like Folklore and Evermore, and even 1989, love that record, love the 80s pop flair of that record. There were signs that she might she might steer in that direction, and Folklore and Evermore taking on a little bit of that kind of like alternative Americana kind of style. But Olivia Rodrigo is all about rock and roll. And this new record has got so much more rock and roll on it, and I'm pumped about it. I'm really stoked for her career and the direction of it. I think that ultimately she's going to take on more of a feel of, I really can't help but think of a person like Chrissy Hynde. I imagine that Olivia probably listens to the Pretenders a bunch, just the powerful women. I think of Joan Jett. I think of Debbie Harry. She is going to take on that edgier, more rock and roll side, I think. She still has a great understanding of the pop element, and I think that's really important to her music. And I love that delicate side of her. That balance is phenomenal. She can go heavy, she can go light. And we were talking about Mark Linkus, excuse me, at the beginning of the week with Sparkle Horse, a man that, I if you made me bet, I would probably guess that Olivia has heard of Sparkle Horse. If she hasn't, I know that she has listened to a ton of music in her lifetime, musicians that have been influenced by a guy like Mark, who has that ability to just go so heavy and raw, lots of reverb, just lots of fuzzy stuff in your face, but then, flip the script and really display this delicate, vulnerable side that's it's just the contrast that's there. It's amazing. It's very much in line with your opening track, All American Bitch, which you see the song title. I love that about Olivia. She's, that's one thing about Taylor. I mean, she's got a couple out there, but she doesn't shy away from the F bomb. She doesn't shy away from like really going at it and making her feelings known. And I appreciate it and I admire it. I think that she writes about this too. I love it as well. She writes about the insecurity that she has of, people being okay with her style now, but when is it no longer acceptable? When does she run out of time? And it's just another example of why she is such a smart young lady and why I really think she's ahead of the game. She's, by the time she's my age, I imagine her catalog is just going to be spectacular. And I'm really excited to have an opportunity to check her out live. But All American Bitch, you got this simple, arpeggiated acoustic riff. I mean, honestly, like think very folkish. Think Simon and Garfunkel, just straight out the gate. You get a little bit of like a second guitar that works in. And then about a minute in, it's just garage rock and a total shift. And I like that because this song is about the pressures that are there being a woman, and being in the bar industry. I hear so many of the women that I work with talk about this. You get these douchey guys at the bar. They're like, you'd be cuter if you smiled more. And they say all this dumb shit. And that's really like what this song is focused on. And I like the contrast of, that balance that a lot of women like they feel like they need to hold their tongue, and then sometimes there's just that like fuck you explosion, and oftentimes rightfully so. In my experience, I've heard a lot of inappropriate things said, and I dig the track and the way it highlights that pressure that every woman in America especially feels on a daily basis. It's a cool way to open this album, and it really shows a massive amount of maturity for her as a 20-year-old songwriter, in my opinion, anyway. Bad Idea Right is my favorite. I should say Bad Idea Right. My favorite song on this album is your second track, total 80s rock feel. I love the simple guitar and the bass. You get this recitative vocal that's working in the verses, definitely, highlighting that acting ability. And she's interesting as far as the hip hop influence. It's there just a tiny bit too that she plays around with. I love it. But this song, you get some synths that work in during the pre-chorus, and then the chorus hits, and I just love the groove that this song finds. It's so damn good, and I think it's perfect placement. Your second track coming right off that opener and what it does with the contrast. This album just built incredibly well right off the bat. Vampire, big single coming off of this thing. Delicate piano, vocal works in off that, and I really like the electronic textures that work in too. Simple bass and drum that goes to work, and then I dig the way the piano becomes frenzied. That element, that shift is great. And this song builds into this just excellent breezy pop number. Wonderful song. Leads into your fourth track, Lacey. Simple acoustic number, like the vocal arrangement with that, and really enjoyed the harmonies on this song. It makes it the musical elements, the harmonies here, and all the melodies. It's got this like underwater feel. It's a really cool feeling to this track. Soft percussion that carries in the coda. It's going to lead into your fifth song, Ballad of a Homeschooled Girl. Grungy lo-fi guitars, got this 90s alternative rock feel. I love when Olivia rocks out. And I love the way that the bass carries in the verse on this track. Guitars enter nicely about halfway through the verses, and then chorus just rocks right out. I love the way that the coda goes big and rocks. It's a wonderful track, and it's going to lead into your sixth song, A side closer, Making the Bed. This is, I love, I love that analogy there. A song about a lot of regret and coping with that. Electro washes usher in this just really delicate, vulnerable vocal, got simple bass, soft drums, and the piano there. There's just like, this song is so cold. There's like this Arctic texture that's captured in this song, and it's so well done. It's very evocative, really nice example of her ability to to resonate with her listener just with the music alone, even though the lyrics are pretty damn good. Logical is your seventh track. Pretty piano and vocal captures a contrasting mood of sadness. It's got these soft washes that build in, and then those cut. And I like the way the song continues to go on. This like cut happens twice. The washes build, and then boom, they're gone. But really a great way to open up the B side. Get Him Back is your eighth track. Like the energy on this song. Fun wordplay here. Get him back is in revenge, and get him back is in like, hey, like I kind of miss the dude. It's a fun play on words there. Prominent drums, a bit of electric bass. That's very simple, but capturing that '90s pop element, I feel. You got a bit of rock and roll that's at the base of the song, and again that recitative vocal that's at work here. It's kind of giving it a bit of a hip hop feel. But as this song built on, the one I guess band it really reminded me of is I heard a lot of group love in the musical elements of that track. Love is embarrassing. Damn it, yes it is. It's your ninth song. Is I love her. She's a very, very insightful young woman. Driving percussion, you get this fuzzy bass, guitar fills in, minimal space, but nice new wave feel. I love that element on this record, feeling a bit of the Cars on that song. The Grudge, talking about Taylor Swift. This song might be about her. I'm not gonna like throw out conjecture. I'm not gonna say it is or it isn't. You may interpret it however you want to, but you get the simple piano and vocal, and I love her focus, like her focus on the wordplay at moments like this. It takes strength to forgive, but I don't feel strong. That's like a strong thing for a 20-year-old to say. It's a very interesting dynamic there with that line. But like I said, who knows if it's about Taylor, but it's an excellent song, a lot of vulnerability in the lyrics, a really cool track. Leads into your penultimate song, Pretty Isn't Pretty. Breezy new wave feel. The song maintains that feel in the chorus, but there's more textures. But I like the way the song carries. It's just really groovy, super easy to listen to, and it leads into your final track, Teenage Dream, which I love the piano and the vocal. Her version of, honestly, My Back Pages. I'm not comparing her to Bob Dylan. I'm not comparing that song to that song necessarily, but I feel like both those tracks, you have a young artist with this realization of maybe I'm taking life too serious. Maybe I'm taking all of this too serious. There's a certain level of balance that's required there in life, of being professional, of handling yourself, of having integrity, but also knowing when to chill. Just like knowing when the fuck to chill. And I don't mind using a few F-bombs in this review because Olivia, if you're going to listen to this record, she's using quite a few of them. But I dig that about this song and the lyrical perspective and the strings that work in. They come along really nice there. They get I love the way this song builds, and there's this. It just starts to rock out in the coda, and there's this big refrain. They all say that it gets better the more you grow, and there's kind of this doubt in that line. But I'll argue that yes, Olivia, it does. It doesn't necessarily get easier, but it does get better. I enjoyed being 20 years old. You couldn't pay me to go back there, though. There's no amount of money. There's nothing that you could offer me, given where I'm at now, with everything that I've accomplished, with everything that I'm so proud of and happy about, that, being that age, that was the foundation of that. And it's a tough thing, but making those mistakes and learning those life lessons and going through the grind of that age, is an important part of getting to middle age and having perspective and feeling more confident in yourself and more confident in your abilities and just with, your general perspective on life. My life isn't 100% perfect, and sometimes I'm damn unhappy about things, but I love where I'm at, and I'm gonna say that yes, that I love the dynamic, the back and forth. Is it not? Olivia, I'm here to tell you that it is. And I'm also here to tell you that we're going to give this thing a massive vinyl, please. You, you rule. You rock. I'm stoked for your career. I'm stoked about this record. I hope everybody listens to this as soon as they possibly can. And I hope you find this review helpful. Please like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, do all the things to help us blow this project up in 2021. And stay tuned throughout the week for more album reviews. We will see you next time on the Beat Sessions.